Elizabeth's brother ruined Andrei and Elizabeth's wedding. Guys, what is up? Max here, the Celeb Talk guy, and on last night's episode of 90 Day Fiance, it was like 100 times better than I ever imagined. And in today's video, we have a little special guest to, kind of banter and talk and share his feelings from last night's episode too. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys already know him. He is a fellow YouTuber named YourWetSock. I'm going to put a link above or below this video to his channel. Make sure to check him out, show him some love. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Up everyone, Max here at the Celeb Talk guy, and like I said, we have an incredible guest. Let's introduce him right now. YourWetSock, what is up, man?
What's going on, Max? Thanks for having me on here, man. It's good to talk to you.
Oh, you too, man. You are hilarious. So, dude, what did you think of last night's episode?
You know what? I'll tell you what, there's so much stuff to, really go through, but I'll tell you what, that wedding, Andrei and Elizabeth's wedding, it was phenomenal. It was a great wedding. You know what's funny? I'm living in Eastern Europe right now. So I saw a lot of things, like a lot of similarities from where I'm living, because I'm living in Bulgaria, and I feel like they have a lot of the same tradition.
My question is, how much did that wedding cost? Because it was like a complete performance. Is the cost of living that cheap?
It is very cheap. So that wedding, it is very possible that wedding was under $40,000.
And it was a fun wedding until Elizabeth's brother, Charlie, just completely flat out ruined it.
Man, he was self-destructing from the first time he sat down, and he looked at smoked salmon, and I'm like, this guy's never heard of smoked salmon before? He's like, what is that? It's raw fish? He's almost insulted about it.
The dad, Charlie, and the sister, they're all idiots, but the brother, I think, is just the worst because he's so jealous. And after last night's episode, I don't know what you think, but like I'm watching this thinking he's jealous of Andrei almost, don't you think?
It's really weird. I think him and Jess are both jealous of Andrei and Elizabeth. I think Jess, from the first thing she says, she throws a lot of underhanded comments out there. But one thing she said that really struck me was, wow, this is so extravagant. And she said it in such a way that I was just like, dude, you're so obviously jealous of the relationship your dad has with your sister.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm trying to think, and the viewers can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I want to say she might be single. Is she married? I don't think so.
I haven't seen her partner. I know the other two sisters seem like they have successful relationships. One of their significant others is from Denmark.
Yeah.
And I think that they have successful relationships. I don't know about Jess.
I want to say no. Viewers and everyone listening, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I want to say no, and that would make sense why she is so incredibly jealous and rude. I think she's just jealous of these two, and not like Elizabeth and Andrei have a perfect relationship at all, but she's jealous, and I don't know what on earth is going to happen when Andrei, he got really confrontational with Charlie, so I don't know if they get physical or I don't know, but I can only imagine, and I don't blame Andrei at all, to kind of get physical and just throw the guy out. Now, obviously, Charlie, he had a little bit too much to drag, but still, the guy's been jealous this whole time.
Yeah, 100%. And there's a time and a place for everything. On the day of, your sister's wedding, it's just so classless.
Yeah, especially at the wedding. Now, the only thing I will say, though, for his defense, thankfully, is probably like half the people there even speak English. So really, his friends probably had no idea what he was saying. But still, his brother speaks English. His parents might have had an idea. It was awkward. It was cringy. The guy is just a jerk.
Well, a lot of Eastern Europeans too, they won't speak English, but a lot of them understand English. They're just not comfortable with their English. Yeah. So I don't know how many of them spoke English, but it's just like a time and a place. And to say something like that, and then he's dancing with everybody and drinking champagne like everything's okay.
I'm sick of the guy. I'm over him. And I don't know, viewers, everyone listening, put in the comments below what you guys think. But I think, once and for all, we all can agree that he is just a rotten jerk. And yeah, Andrei needs to do something to him. And then now that we're speaking of just rotten, rude people, I think it is a great time to talk about Kalani and Oswellu, and especially Oswellu's mom, and really especially Oswellu's sister. Now, man, what do you think? All I'm going to say at first is I have never, ever, ever, ever been a fan of Oswellu's mom. But on last night's episode, we all did get to see she did apologize to Kalani. So we have to give her a little bit of credit. But the sister, Tammy, not only did she not apologize, she was starting to kind of get mouthy with, Kalani's mom, and she was still being really rude to Kalani. So what do you think about that?
I think she's a very immature person. I think she really is stubborn and stuck in her ways, and almost I don't know if it's jealousy, but I do think that at a certain point, if you mess up as a person, I'm surprised that she isn't mature enough to acknowledge that she's messed up, and she shouldn't come in here with all this negative energy, and she's very confrontational.
Yeah,
And she says that she didn't do anything wrong to Kalani, yet she almost physically assaulted her.
I know. Well, when she said that, I was like, well, do you not remember you were running at her and, Oswellu's mom had to grab her and hold her back? It's like, what? So that's why I don't know. Everyone is messaging me saying that the clips with Tammy are fake and the 90 Day Fiance is doing it for show. And I just have a hard time believing it. I get where people can see that, where they're coming from, and maybe it is true, but it's like, man, doesn't it seem real to you, or do you think that it's fake too?
I 100% think it's real. Here's the thing with, there's been a post recently, her family, or Oswellu's family, has posted on Facebook. One member of the family said that the show's fake and Oswellu still sends me money. Yeah. Well, that doesn't prove that the show's fake, that Oswellu still sends you money. It means that he's still being manipulated by his family and sending them money that should be going towards his wife and his children.
I know. And I mean, it's like, he could be sending 30 or 40, $50. I saw the post. There were screenshots, but she blacked out the money. So we have no idea how much money, they're really sending. And I mean, honestly, I'm happy to see Oswellu's mom finally shut up, and she backed off and she apologized. I think that has something to do with Kalani's dad being there. I mean, don't you kind of think so? Because the guy's huge and gigantic and scary.
You know what? I think at this point, the only thing, in my opinion, that will help Oswellu in his life is having a strong mentor like Lo.
Yeah.
I think he wants someone to level with him, and he wants someone that understands his culture. Now, Lo comes from the Samoan culture. Yeah. And he even said, I would never send money to my parents if the money was supposed to go to my children and my wife. You have to take care of your family unit first.
I mean,
all this argument, I see all these people talk about culture and you don't understand the culture. Well, we just had a guy that's familiar with the culture, from the culture, say that what he's doing is wrong.
It's greed. They're greedy. The mom is greedy. The sister, she's incredibly greedy and rude, but we'll have to wait and see what goes down. And then for the, preview for the rest of the episode, the rest of the season with them, we got to see a sneak peek that now Kalani is, speculating that Oswellu might be cheating on her. What do you think the possibility that is?
To be honest, if it happened, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I would.
God wouldn't. I feel like he's in a very negative place, in a negative mindset. And it's hard because when someone's manipulated their entire life and they don't know something different, every time that she tries to make sense and tries to tell him, hey, it's messed up that you're letting your parents and your family control you like this. Right. He's like, yeah, I agree, Kalani. And the next thing you know, he's like, don't talk about my family that way.
I know.
It's almost like, dude, it's like Rain Man. You can't talk to this guy.
You can't. Yeah, I feel like we're only like you were saying, we only really hear like half of what's going through the guy's head. We don't really know where he's at. We don't know what he's ever thinking. I don't even know if he's like physically even like into Kalani, because he seems so distanced, and maybe he's in love with her and attracted to her and they're romantic. They have 2 kids, so they're definitely doing something in the bedroom, but it's like they don't really seem like they're even like a married couple. So I wouldn't be shocked if he was cheating.
I wouldn't be surprised by it either. And I think it doesn't help that he's so childish to the point where people speculate, okay, I've seen a lot of comments, is he on the spectrum? Like all this stuff. But Kalani has shut that down and said her mother assessed him and said that he's not. But it's scary because I've never seen somebody this childish that you talk to him or you tell him something and it just goes in one ear and out the other.
Yeah. And maybe it is the language difference, barrier, whatnot. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know. You just don't really know. And I wish them the best. And I have absolutely no idea where their relationship stands in present day. I have no spoilers on them. But the next couple, Angela and Michael, I have been saying this all all season. It has been a gigantic spoiler. They finally got married. And that was just, that was a show within itself.
And you know what? To be honest with you, that was a nice wedding. It looked like a very fun wedding, festive. Everybody was drinking, having a good time. I was all for that wedding. I think it looked really good. I just think that I feel bad for Michael. I always kind of feel bad for Michael because, you know, Angela is a very manipulative, jealous, insecure person, and she's verbally and emotionally abusing this guy. And it's clear for every viewer out there will probably agree with me.
Yeah, they have to. And there was a time at the beginning of the season when I was like, God, Angela, she's kind of growing on me. But after we saw everything that went down at the bar, and then with this, and then, I mean, just so much stuff went down with her this season where she's dramatic, and it's like it's fake dramatic, and it's annoying. I'm over her. I feel incredibly bad for Michael. And now I do know, a little spoiler, a little hint, that I saw Angela on social media on someone else's account over the weekend, and she was FaceTiming Michael. So there's no way that he is in America. I think with everything going on in the world, I'm confident he's still in Nigeria, still over there. But you know, it appears they are still together. They're still married technically. And I'm really curious to see what goes down when he gets to the States, because I don't know if you know, but like, he hasn't been working. She sends him money. And she said in last night's episode, you're going to have to get a job. You're going to start working. And I'm sitting here kind of thinking, is he going to do it?
Right. Well, if he's not working in his own native country, I highly doubt he's going to work in the United States.
Why would he? I know it really doesn't make much sense. So I don't know what's going to happen with their relationship. I mean, if the guy stays inside all day, doesn't talk to anyone, doesn't make any friends, kind of just watches her grandkids, they'll probably be fine. He'll probably be miserable, but you know, she won't scream at him too much. But if he tries to go out and make new friends and get a job, she's going to be jealous. She's going to be verbal. She's going to go crazy.
Well, I think he doesn't have a Cameo, but I think Cameo might be a good opportunity for him if he's going to be at home, you know, to earn some passive income and still be social at that social aspect.
Speaking of Cameo, really quick, I don't want to get too off topic, but did you buy a Cameo from Jess? Did she ever?
She never got back to me.
So you paid for it though?
I paid for it. I didn't get a refund for that yet.
Wow. She not like you? Like, why would she not give you your Cameo?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, a little spoiler. I'm going to give you the inside scoop right now. I got a Cameo back from Brittany.
Okay.
Boss Brittany. And I think her and Usman are together, dude.
You think so?
I think so, because she acts really suspect in the Cameo, and she seems like she's mad at me the entire time. And I don't know why. I don't know why people are mad at me. I didn't do anything.
Same. And I get hate too from the cast members, whatever. Hey, if they're going to be ridiculous and, you know, crazy and whatnot, like, I don't want to name any names, but like, you know, Brittany and baby girl Lisa and Usman, we call them out. That's our job. It's what we do. So I don't care, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure she is mad, and I don't think she's still with Yazin. Wouldn't be shocked if she was really with Usman, or if she was just, you know, quote unquote with Usman to get back on the show. What do you think about Colt and his fake friend Steve, who, let me just say real quick, everyone who didn't watch the episode last night, we saw Colt and he was with this guy named Steve. Now, someone did actually message me his Instagram account, and so he does appear to be a real person named Steve, but I can tell you guys one thing, there was no way that Colt and Steve had been like actual friends. 100% 90 Day Fiance. Found the guy on the street corner, they paid him, and then he just was on the show as Colt's friend. What'd you think of that?
I thought it was incredibly cringe. First of all, you have Colt doing the most unathletic workout I've ever seen in my entire life.
Seriously.
And then number two, this guy shows up and it seems like it's their first time meeting. They're calling each other buddy and bro and not even using each other's names. And then at the end, they play a little flag football game without the flags. And it's the most unathletic display I've ever seen in my life. It's fake.
Dumbest thing. 90 Day Fiance always has to have these stupid little filler clips with this crap. And it's like, oh, it's cringy. Everyone can see through it that it's just fake. And it's like they're just trying to set it up. So now in the preview, we saw that Colt sat down Debbie and he's going to have a conversation with her about how they need to kind of distance their relationship. So they completely just made up the whole scenario just so now Colt can talk to Debbie. And, you know, they're so stupid. And we all saw in your cameo with them, they're still living together. They're still obviously really close.
You know what? I like that the cameos are up to date. That's why I like doing the cameo videos, because it reveals where they are in their life and what's really happening right now. Because it's hard to know the timeline of the show, because there's, it takes so many months to edit everything and film everything. I mean, the most shocking thing for me about the whole Colt workout situation was they actually wanted to imply that this guy has friends other than his mom.
I know.
And that's a ridiculous notion, right?
I know. Crazy. It's not possible. And we also got to see the other half of them, which was just painful. Eric and Larissa. Larissa had her procedure. One thing I want to say real quick before you talk is, with this procedure, the plastic surgeon said, hey, we have done 20,000 of these things. Not one time has anything ever gone wrong. And we don't plan on anything going wrong today. So you can only imagine they're just going to say, oh, it's going to go well, no issues. But then after the procedure happens, Larissa's kind of a little slow to wake up. She's kind of being a little bit of a baby. And Eric is over there like something's going on, like some craziness is happening. And he's nervous and he's saying that the doctor said this. And I was like, the doctor said not that long ago that there's never been an issue. So I don't know why this guy, feels the need to be so incredibly dramatic.
Right. I mean, and to touch on what you just said, I'm from Las Vegas. So this guy from Vegas, you know how many of our friends or people we went to school with that got nose jobs? It's a cosmetic procedure. Nothing is, now something can happen, but it's so rare. And it's just crazy. Like, he's being so dramatic about it. Even when he's taking care of her, I didn't realize it was all this work. She just had a surgery.
Like, literally, I said it on social media, the guy should go join a soap opera, because the guy is just trying to run out this fame so much. That Natalie girl who was on, she was the one that supposedly dated Eric, a few episodes ago. She's posted on social media that he tells everyone he's a reality TV star. That's his job. I mean, he's just trying to be dramatic for the show, and it's super annoying.
Right. Well, it's hard. It's annoying for the viewer when the side character is trying to be the lead, and you're like, hey, buddy, you're the side character. We are not here for
that. I don't even know if they're even really dating. My take, I don't even think Larissa, I don't even think Eric is into women. Like, I'm going to be completely honest. Maybe he's into guys and girls. Who knows? Maybe he is just into women. But the way he acts, the way I feel like he is, I feel like he's just more into guys. Don't you, kind of?
I agree with you. I think that they've never had any point in the show where I've looked at them and been like, this is a couple.
And guys, before we do sign off with this collab, hope you guys have enjoyed it. But before we do sign off, we have a little bit of insider scoop on Andreis Past. So fill me in, man. What is the deal with his past?
So his past story, we can tell obviously from watching the episode that he's still hiding things about the past. Right. We don't know about if what he said was true. But his story is believable because Eastern Europe is very corrupt. Mm-hmm. There's constant protests about it. I mean, even here where I'm at currently, there's protests all the time. Basically what happened was, after communism, a lot of people took over the country and became the political leaders, but there's still corrupt politicians. And for every Eastern European country, there's about 5 people that run the entire country. Right. There's corruption in the United States too, but for these people, it's more out in the open. Mm-hmm. So basically how it works is, one of the families will own the police force. One of the families will own the media. And they basically run everything. These 5 families run everything. And usually the people that are in charge running the countries in Eastern Europe, they don't even live in the country. Some of them might, but most of them live in Dubai, or most of them live in Monte Carlo because they're rich and they've taken all the money from getting government contracts. Like, oh, I'm going to build all the roads in the city. And then they pocket all the money, only spend, like, let's say it's a $50 million contract. They spend $5 million on it, pocket the rest, and then they just leave the country. And it's the craziest thing ever. But when he said that he was an inspector, he was looking into a case, and his older police officers told him not to do that. Mm-hmm. Or else this is going to happen. He was fearing for his life. That story makes sense if you're living in your Eastern Europe or you're Eastern European. That makes sense because that does really happen. Right. Now, do I think that he's morally upright enough to just all of a sudden leave and be like, I'm a morally good person, I'm above this corruption? No, right. I obviously don't. When he's joking about, oh yeah, you just paid cops off here, laughing about it. Right. Of course the story doesn't add up. I think he was the corrupt cop. Allegedly. I don't have any evidence of this, but I don't believe the story. but I do think that it is a valid story. It could be true, but he's leaving so much out of it.
Right. Yeah, there must be more. I didn't watch the video, but I heard that Sherelle's World found some info that he had some money thing going on. I don't know anything about it. I'm just throwing that out there. But there's probably more to the story, I would only assume. It really just still doesn't make much sense.
Right. Well, one of my subscribers sent me the video you're referencing. And basically the report says that he was born in 1947 or something like that.
Oh.
And she said that they think that was a typo. The problem is it's very unlikely that you get the numbers wrong. That doesn't get lost in translation.
Yeah.
So it's very unlikely. And then Andrei is Andrew. It's the equivalent for the name Andrew, so it's a very common name.
I don't know. I mean, and don't get me wrong, if I was in Andrei's shoes and that was the true story and Charlie was my brother-in-law, I'd probably be short and vague too, because the guy is a jealous jerk. So I kind of get where Andrei's coming from, but I feel like he's kind of like a cowboy. He's rebellious. He's all headstrong. There's probably more to it that he isn't telling us, maybe. And he made the comment that, my secrets are my secrets. So maybe there is some more dirt behind the story. You just don't really know.
Well, I think it's actually really polite of Andrei to not turn to the whole family and be like, what about your criminal past?
That's the craziest thing. Crazy. They all have it.
That's what I would have said.
And I mean, Jen, or no, not Jen. I think it's the other sister. She's got a horrible past. Yeah, Charlie's been in and out 3 or 4 times. And then the dad, he had a child support thing. And now supposedly he owns some, crazy backwards, like a horrible, I don't want to get too into it, but just some horrible, bad business practice business. So I just cannot understand why he does. Like, does he not know? He has to know. Don't you think Andrei knows about them?
It's Googleable. Like, we all know. I'm sure he knows too. But I think out of respect for them, he's not saying anything. So I just find it ironic that the entire segment is about his criminal past. Alleged criminal past. We don't even know if he had a criminal past.
I know. It's just so stupid. And I don't think it's fake. I really just think that Charlie, the brother, and the dad, he doesn't rub me. He seems kind of odd and awkward and weird. He doesn't rub me too much the wrong way. But Charlie and the sister Jen, I do not like them. They're just they're so rude and annoying and stuck up, and they think they're amazing for some reason. Right.
I know. They think they're the Kennedys of Florida.
They think they're the Kardashians. Last night, guys, it was a killer episode. It was really a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm. A lot of events.
Yeah.
Back to
any last comments? Any last thoughts from last night?
My last comment is Jen is the girl that peaked in high school.
Yeah. Yep. She was a sorority girl. You can already tell. She's got sorority all written all over her face, and she stuck up. Yep. That's exactly it. Well, awesome, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. I'm going to say it again at the end of the video, but guys, putting a link above or below to his channel. So if you are not subscribed, if you haven't seen any of his videos, seriously, check them out. I know a lot of you guys already have because I get messages all the time on Instagram. But seriously, if you haven't checked them out, check them out. He has some videos on Big Ed from a few months ago that are hilarious. So check them out. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. It means the world. And hopefully we will see your face more and more in the future on this channel.
Anytime. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem, man. I appreciate it. Wow. That was so much fun. YourWetSock, he is seriously just a really funny person. Like I said earlier, I'm putting a link above or below this video to his channel. If you don't subscribe to him for some crazy reason, give him a follow. His videos are just they're like mini movies on 90 Day Fiance people. He just did a video on Colt, which was great. He's done a lot of videos on Ed that I love dearly. Check him out. And also, if you guys did enjoy the video, I'd appreciate it if you guys would hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment below your thoughts. I am more than happy to do more interview kind of style videos where we bring on guests and whatnot. Honestly, it is just fun to be able to banter with more people. And hey, maybe at some point I can bring on some of you super fan people that would love to come on the channel and talk and hang out for a minute. So if that's something you guys would ever want to do, I am more than happy to do it. Just want to hear from you guys. guys if you are interested or not. But in the meantime, it would mean the world to me to tap that like button, hit the comments below from what you guys thought on last night's episode, and stay tuned for many more videos.